Welcome to Trainz Railroad Simulator 2019. This is an early access title kindly provided to me by N3V Games. Now, what I'm going to be doing is I'm going to be having a look at this, and maybe this is going to end up replacing Trainz A New Era on my channel. It might not just yet because it is in early access, so I'm going to be having a look and seeing how things progress as it builds up, and that's what we're here to find out. We're here to see what's different, what's new, how does it work, what's changed, what remains, and how far they have to go. So bear in mind, when I say something's good, that means it's good. When I say something's bad or that I criticize something, that is a criticism for the developers so that they can improve upon something. And of course, during the early access period, this will be improved upon. So we might be looking at performance, models, could be some routes, so on and so forth. So what do we have here? Well, it looks very much like Trainz, apart from we've got this up here, which is kind of neat. So you got the system menu. Things are hidden a little bit more. The actual way that it is, like for example this design here, I'm not all too keen on the design. However, I do see how it works, because if you look at that, it does have some sort of abstract design that looks a bit like a railway sleeper. So there's a railway, or that's a rail, and there's a sleeper going across. So that's how it sticks out, which kind of looks quite interesting. Of course, you've got the learn to drive, so you can go into these sessions and it tells you how to drive. So you've got the same sort of sessions that we've had in the last one, although I think this is a different one right here. And then we've got switching, we've got signaling, we've got a realistic mode. Some of these are the same, some of these are different from Trainz A New Era, that is. Then if we look at my collection, you can see what we have. Now I quite like this. This is actually quite nicely done. Now I'm not sure what these different colors mean just yet, or what any of these mean. I really am not entirely sure, so don't expect me to be able to explain all of that to you. I think this means it's been updated. I think. I'm not entirely sure. Yeah, hold on a second. Let's have a look. 17th. No, I'm not sure. I'm really not sure whether it means it's been updated or not. I'm just looking at the dates that seem to come up on this. But as you can see, the version that I've got, and I got this through the gold subscription on the Trainz My Trainz, or the Trainz store, so you can get it from there, or you can buy it outright. I'll leave links in the description box to my affiliate scheme for Trainz, for the Trainz store, so you can go there and you can pick up all of these things, not just for Trainz Railroad Simulator 2019, but Trainz A New Era too. So you can see that these ones look like they need to be worked on. Yeah, I think these ones are the old ones, and these look like they've been updated somewhere. So you can see that, and you can see the class 24. They do, yeah, they definitely look like they're the ones that have been updated. So definitely going to be trying out some of these. This looks old, whilst this looks newer. Somewhat. Not a massive amount. But anyway, so I'm just having a look through these. Obviously, I haven't got a clue what is and isn't upgraded yet. These certainly look upgraded somewhat. But the lighting looks a lot better. Things just look a lot cleaner. This doesn't look so updated. All of these are going to be updated in time, and of course, as they're all getting updated, I will be showing you guys it. In fact, these look quite new. Yeah, these look quite new. Interesting. Yeah, these actually might all be new. As I said, as things come along, I'll be able to explain more and show more things off, and really get an understanding as to what is actually around. Naturally, I am giving you this as I am seeing it. So as I am seeing it, that's how I'm giving it to you. Yes, they're not updated, or maybe they're updated to run in Trainz Railroad Simulator 2019, but they're not quite updated. That looks fairly updated. In fact, this looks updated too. And that's clearly updated, or that's clearly new, actually. So yeah, lots of things to have a look at, lots of things to see and get into. Now, you can also go to a download station. I like this. You can just go here, and you can just download whatever you want. Enter text here. Let's have a look. Any HSTs? Look at that. You can just go and click download. Obviously, some of these are old, some of these are new, so you can see this one's quite old, but that's actually quite neat. And I wonder if this is going to work all the way through, so you can just download everything and just immediately play it. I'm not sure. I'm not too sure, but I'll find out at some point, of course. Anyway, moving away from that, let's go to Driver Surveyor, and I have found something that really does show this off, and I believe it's Kickstarter County 2. Yeah, it's Kickstarter County 2 that I think shows off Trainz Railroad Simulator 2019 in the best form. And the one I'm going to take is I'm going to take the Highland Limited. Now it's a 1 hour session, so I'm thinking I'll probably do this over the next... No, actually, I'll do it in over the next 25 to... Yeah, I'll do it over the next 25 minutes. And if you guys then want, I'll do another 35-minute episode finishing off that scenario so you guys can actually see it. But as you can see, Rocky Mountaineer, I wish it looked like this. Anyway, here we go. Now, my settings aren't all the way up at the top, so you will have to forgive me for that. Obviously, the performance needs to be improved in general. This is still in early access, so things aren't going to be quite perfect. But just immediately looking at that, it does look very different. Now, a few things to explain. First of all, it says couple to coaches. We've got a new track route here, which shows our incline. As you can see, how many miles we're through. So that's 2 miles from where you are. The signals at certain points. And as you hover over them, as you can see, it shows them like that. So you've got the signals at certain points and speed limits. Now, what does that button do? That's our track profile. So that actually, we can switch things on and off. There you go. So you've got the industries on and off, navigation points, speed signs, signals, track lock. So if you wanted, you could switch it all off and just have just that. Or you could, I guess, hide it all if we really wanted to. Similar controls to everything else. You've got your system menu here, you've got your tools menu, you've got your standard navigation menu, your camera menu with the same controls, 1, 2, 3, 4, your multiplayer menu, your window menu. Then up here you've got your game clock, your game score, your current objective, which you can click that and it explains what you need to do. Then you've got your speed control dial, you've got your speedometer, you've got your standard controls here, so you can see that I've got my lights on. There you go. We can go dim. We've got your horn, which I think still needs to be improved. Got the bells. We can reverse the train heading, and we've got the sanding for wheel slip. Now, we've got our standard dynamic DCC controller, or we can just click that and move into the more the harder mode, the expert mode. Now, what I am going to say is that I don't particularly... Let's actually start moving this forward. I don't particularly like the I don't particularly like this HUD. I find it a bit large. I like this. I like this idea. This is really neat. I don't think the person needs to be there. I think we can get rid of the person. I like the idea of the HUD, but I think it's too clunky and it's really hard to see at points. So I think if that's made about, I don't know, 30% smaller, narrow it up a bit, and on top of that, if there was some sort of semi-opaque background on it, some sort of, translucent background or something like that, I think that would really help, because then you'd be able to read these a little bit more clearly, all this white. And of course you can get rid of the buttons like that, which is actually quite neat. And one thing I do like is... Oh, hang on a second. Never mind. We can bring in an underlay. No, that's still not quite... I still think it's harder to see. This is okay now. This is okay. But this is still not that easy to see. So yeah, it still needs work. I'd like a better underlay on that, for certain. But anyway, having a look around, this I think is a new map. It certainly has, I'll show you when we stop, it certainly has that new flora I've forgotten what it's called, with the NVIDIA Flora, which you're going to see the grass actually moves, and it's really nicely done. So that's something that's definitely upgraded. As you can see, the lighting engine's upgraded. In fact, there's some grass that we'll definitely be having a look at. So I think we've got to stop just past there. Who's beeping anyway? Hang on a minute, let me blast that horn. Excuse the loud noise. It doesn't sound terrible. It does not sound terrible, but I think it still needs to be improved. So we're moving forward. I'm going to show you this grass once we've stopped. So at this point I think we shall stop. Please stop. Anytime now would be nice. There we go. Okay. So we're just going to back into... there we go. That should allow us to back up. And there we go. Okay. So whilst we're backing up, and we'll back up nice and slowly, I'm going to go into F4 mode. We're literally going to back up very slowly so that I can show you this a little bit. Look at this new grass textures, and if you look at the trees, look at the trees moving in the wind, much more realistic, and it really does give quite a nice style to this. It really does give a nice style to this title, which I'm quite impressed about. I wonder if print screen still does the print screen. I'm guessing it does. Yep, still takes that. So you can see, let's have a look a little bit at the railways themselves. Definitely changed. The textures are a lot better. The ground textures are a lot better. You can see some sort of normal map. In fact, that's actually mesh deformation right there. So that's actually a mesh or some sort of deformation of the mesh. And even if we zoom into this here, you can see the little wisps of grass. Very, very well done. There's some people on the tracks here. The people definitely need improvement, as you can see. But again, I have to point out, this is early access. The key is obviously going to be the trains first, and the actual railways and the meshes around that, and getting things like that upgraded, not the people. The people are obviously not going to be important there. I want to get a nicer view. That train is not going very fast, is it? There you go. Go on, get moving. Shadow-wise, it looks pretty good. Oh, for some reason I applied the brakes, didn't I? That's my own fault. That's my own fault from other train sims. Not used to that. There we go. Okay, so you can see that this, in fact, I'm just looking at this. Isn't this the same Kickstarter County? It says Kickstarter County 2, but I'm not too sure now. Maybe this is the upgraded version of Kickstarter County. Go on, hit that brake, hit that brake, hit that brake. Awesome, okay.
All aboard!
You heard the man? All aboard. It says rough handling. I'm not sure what it's saying rough handling for. I'm stopped. Alright, so we're going to wait. I have to admit, it does look different. It definitely looks different, and that is something... Proceed. Alright, let's have a look inside this train. Ah, now inside the train, it looks exactly the same right now. Exactly the same. Sounds-wise, it's different. Sounds-wise, it's definitely different. But yeah, inside still needs work, as you can see. So I'm hoping that they redo all the insides of every single train. That's something I am looking forward to. Alright, so we're proceeding. en route back to the outside view, and we're going to see just how this looks. This definitely looks different. The lighting is a lot better as opposed to Trainz A New Era, so there is that. Of course, I think this is still in quite an early... What does that read? American Locomotive Company. Alco. Right. Yeah, as I said, I think this is still in very early access. This is actually the first beta, so I'm definitely expecting more from it very soon. But what I can see from the start, especially on the railways, the tracks themselves and things like that, it's very impressive. Obviously, I've seen the route building on Trainz A New Era, and we've had a look at the tracks and everything in Trainz A New Era, and they're not bad, not at all. But this is something that's completely different. This is something that's very new. So I like that idea. Let's okay, good. Is that running the green lights or the white lights? What I really would like in this is to see better lighting effects. I really want to see better lighting effects. And I would also like to see better... Start bringing this up as well to start accelerating. What's our water like? Water 64%. Let's actually start up that injector. Coal is 92. That's fine. So if I press space, I guess it gives us coal, right? Oh no, it doesn't give us coal anymore. Okay. Oh, let's do that. Now we're accelerating a little bit. Let's go into some sort of... Oh, look at that. Let's see if we can take a picture somewhere around here. I think that would look pretty good for the screenshot. Yeah, the horn needs work, but of course, like I said, and I'm going to keep saying this, that this is early access. But still, that looks very impressive, and it's very nice to see that they've actually started doing this and working on really improving a lot of parts on this. So that's something that I look at and I think, you know what, that's really well improved. Even the noise of the junctions or the points, whatever you want to call them. You can see that the flora around has definitely changed how this sim looks. Now, the only downside of that flora is the fact that with it does give you some weird artifacts in the distance if you don't have the correct resolution, or your computer just can't handle it. As you can see, it sort of just looks like dots everywhere as they come into view. So that's something that maybe needs to be addressed. On the other hand, when you're around this area, look at that. That just looks superb, and I can't wait to see more of this, and I can't wait to see more, all the other routes being upgraded like this. It says rough handling. I'm not sure why. Maybe that's something I've got to learn in this. I don't know how to add coal to the... Ah, there we go. Okay, it is just holding the space button then. I really got to push it now. But yes, the sounds seem a little bit different. It definitely looks different. Again, just first impressions for me. This is just absolute first impressions. I think all the locomotives need to be redone. There is that. I think every single locomotive does need to be redone, and I'm sure that's what they're going to be working on. One step at a time, they're going to get, every single locomotive redone. I think they are going to do that. Water-wise, does the water really look different? I suppose it does. The water actually does look different. It looks more realistic, but not still not quite there, because it doesn't seem to be... you know what? No, it's rippling. It is rippling. That's pretty cool. Yep, okay, I like that. Again, I'm not going to stay on the inside because I think that's not really showing this title off. This probably is, though. That's probably showing the title off. You can see as we go across the viaduct. Oh, look, some people are sitting there waiting for us. Back up to some sort of speed as we go past the peak. Now it's a downhill very soon. Yep, it's going to be downhill very soon from here. So again, my first thoughts on this, you can definitely see the improvements in the lighting and in a number of other things. Looks like we're stopping here. So I need to start applying the brake. Come on, start applying the brakes. Start applying the brakes. More pressure. I did not notice that we were stopping. Well, we've entered at a fair speed, I think. Ha. That went wrong. Keep it creeping forward. Let's keep it creeping forward just past the... I guess we can take that first coach to the end of the platform. Maybe that's where I'll end it, or I'll end it in a few moments after that. Go on, get that brake applied now. Perfect. Okay, so it's going. I guess we have to wait here. Aboard! Yep, we've gotten all aboard there. I assume everybody's aboard. Oh no, wait, we're not. Select train is not under user control. So yeah, interface fairly good. Again, I think it needs some work on just the shading behind it, or maybe even the colors, just to really help it out. The white doesn't just. It just seems to be. I don't know. You seem to miss the white in a lot of places, so that's something that needs to be perhaps thought of. In terms of everything else, it's getting there. It's definitely getting there. Just looking at it all, definitely getting there. Hopefully one step at a time. What's that? A Vauxhall Zafira, that's a Saab 9.3, and a Honda CR-V, I guess. Is that a CR-V? Yeah, probably. The tracks, I think what they're focused on to start with is the lighting, because you can see that this has got a different lighting engine. They're focused on the trees and the trackside, just the environment in general. I think that's what they've really focused on right now. The environment in general and the track bed itself and the actual railway. So for that, it looks incredible. Now what I'm looking forward to seeing for me personally, is those British engines starting to look absolutely awesome in Trainz and Trainz Railroad Simulator 2019. I'm going to get confused. I'm going to be calling this Trainz a New Era quite a lot, I think. But anyway, let me know what you guys think. Do you see the differences? Because I certainly do see the differences, and I think you can just see it right there. That's a really good example with the trees and the grass and the railway itself. You can really see the differences there. Obviously, again, I'm going to stress this is early access, but it's a really good positive start. I can't wait to see how N3V go and progress with this and how much more comes out of this. Every single update, I bet, is going to bring something new, something amazing. So that's going to be awesome. Thank you very much for watching. Please remember to hit the like button if you like this video. Subscribe to the channel for more videos on Trainz Railroad Simulator 2019. Why is my mouth getting confused on that? Let's try that again. Trainz Railroad Simulator 2019. Don't forget to support me on Patreon. That's www.patreon.com/ECGadget. Your supports would be massively appreciated. Also, if you're not watching this on Twitch, you can follow me on Twitch at twitch.tv/ECGadget. Lastly, do check out the link in the description box. That was a little bit weird. Do check out the link in the description box for a link to the Trainz store, and that Trainz store is going to give you access to this product as well as any DLC you wish to purchase for Trainz A New Era, which will automatically, I believe, now don't quote me on this one, I'll have to double check and I'll tell you in the next one, but automatically be transferred over from Trainz A New Era onto Trainz Railroad Simulator. I can't say it because I say railway, I don't say railroad. Railway Simulator, there you go, 2019. That's all from me, and I'll see you guys next time in, I'm not going to say it again, TRS 2019.